Greetings, greetings. Give thanks as today is yet another miracle. It's your girl, Shireen Briggs with Power Moves Presents, and this is your power moment. It was a slap heard across the world. The Oscars 2022. Will Smith would capture the attention of the whole world. We're talking America, we're talking England, we're talking Africa, we're talking every area that has any type of media, which is nowadays every single country in every city across the world. So that slap that was heard all across the world caught the attention of both young and old. And Will Smith has since not been able to live that down. A lot of people have many questions for Will, myself, like why? Why did you do it? You should have controlled yourself, things of that nature. Jada looked at him funny. That's what some people were saying, and that's the reason why he did it. But in reality, is there's really no excuse for what he did, and we have to stop making excuses as we get older and just in life in general. He did what he did, as they say. He did what he did, and it was not it was something that a lot of divided, I should say, divided our country. But for the most part, I think that most people were not in agreement with what he did. Most people were not in agreement with what he did. I caught a couple people saying things about it, different stars, different people on my timeline, and things of that nature. And everybody at the end of the day was like, nah, that wasn't cool. It was just a joke. So there's so many aspects to this slap that was heard all across the world. So many layers, so many variables. But at the end of the day, the main thing is the reaction that was displayed. And the reaction was unacceptable in my book. So what we're going to do really quick is, yes, again, it's your girl, Shireen Briggs with Power Moves Presents. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. And this is just your power moment with Shireen Briggs. Will Smith has finally broken silence about the slap heard across the world. And Power Moves Presents just wants to touch on that and just give you a brief power moment about what I feel and what I think needs to be done moving forward. So I remember going through my timeline and looking and researching different things, not too long, but just trying to see what, if anything, Will said. It was so many people on the media platforms titling their videos saying Will speaks or something of that nature when he actually didn't speak, other than that surface level response that he gave the Oscars, where he just kind of we were able to read a surface level statement. It was not authentic and it was not accepted. So let's talk about it. Chris Rock has still yet to talk about it. Okay. And sometimes your silence, as we all know, especially as you get older, silence is worse than actually the act, reacting or giving people something. So I think that Chris's silence is like deafening, like it's a lot to Will Smith. And I think that each day that goes by where Chris does not speak on this subject, I think the more that Will is suffering, if you will, suffering with itself, suffering with his choices. And I think that silence is worse than anything. So in the very beginning, 3 months ago at the Oscars, when it happened, Chris, I'm not going to play it and show it again and show that slap. It's been played probably a billion times, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, the purpose of this video is to let you guys hear Will's response, which some might say too little too late, or they may say F that sorry. You can keep your sorry. But you guys, he said sorry, and he apologized not only to Chris, but he apologized to us, the fans, the supporters of him. So we're going to hear that. But before we do, his mother and his brother, Tony Rock, did speak on this situation. I'm going to play what his mother had to say and see if you guys can agree with that. Let me see if I can. You know what? I'm just going to play it. We're going to get right into it right now.
When Will slapped Chris, he slapped all of us, but he really slapped me.
Why do you say that?
Because when you hurt my child, you hurt me.
The Academy has now suspended Will Smith from coming to the Oscars,
And
for
what
a
does
number
that
of
mean?
years.
You don't even go every year.
You don't think it was a true punishment?
Oh, no.
Do you think his award should have been taken away?
I wouldn't take his award away, and I don't see any good way they could have taken him out without disrupting. So I'm really, really proud of the way Chris handled it.
Okay, you guys. So that was Chris Rock's mother. And she addresses the slap that was heard all across the world at the Oscars. And that was what his mother had to say. So do you guys agree with that? Do you understand what she said when she said that part right there really resonated with me when she said when Will slapped Chris, he slapped all of us. And I feel like that you just let that sit. Just let that sit. When Will slapped Chris, he slapped all of us. Let that sit with you and let that resonate within you, and comment on this video and tell me what you think about what she said. So you guys, like I said, we're gonna play Will. He finally did. Will Smith finally makes a video apologizing, and we're gonna it's not that long, so I'm gonna play it, the whole thing in its entirety, and it is about 5 minutes. I'm gonna actually pull it up so you guys can see. Let's see here. I'm gonna share my screen. That way you guys can see. Okay, just give me some time. Trying to get it. Yes, we got it. All right, so I'm gonna play it now. You ready? Here we go. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point.
Okay, you guys. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. We had a great relationship. Tony Rock was my man. This is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment. And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults. After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, I made a choice on my own from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, babe. And say sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us. To all my fellow nominees, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me. And it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove's eyes. It happened on Questlove's award, and it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient. What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down? So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down. So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. And the work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human, and I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit. So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking. But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And, if you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
Wow. If you hang on, I promise we'll be friends again. If you hang on, I promise we'll be friends again. If you hang on, I promise we'll be friends again. The urgency in just those words right there is enough, for consideration, for forgiveness. One thing that stood out with me with other than what I just said was that he said his inner trauma is disappointing people. And I can identify with that because that's something that I deal with as well. So, at the end of the day, he's taking responsibility. I've been down the road where I've hurt people. And the biggest thing that I could do was to apologize sincerely and do the work on me. So it appears that Will is doing the work on himself. hence why it took him so long to actually be able to stand up and face the world. You know, another thing he said was that he's trying to be able to be remorseful without being ashamed or hating himself and feeling like a piece of shit. And I think that's very important as well, because when we do things that wrong other people, we have to be able to forgive ourselves sincerely. We want forgiveness from other people, but we also have to really, really forgive ourselves, because if we don't forgive ourselves, if we don't do the work on ourselves, then the whole apology, the whole sorry is not worth anything. So months ago, it was dubbed as the slap heard across the world. Now today, July 29th, 2022, Will Smith has sent out an apology heard across the world. If you're sorry, I forgive him. I understand. What are your thoughts? Weigh in. Thank you guys for joining me. Until next time, I'm sorry. This has been Shireen Briggs. This is your Power Moment with Power Moves Presents. And I'll see you on the flip side. Peace, respect, and blessings.